Hello, I'm Scott Van Laer. I am a forest ranger in the high peaks of the Adirondacks. I was born on March 10th, 1973 in Kingston, New York. My father was a forest ranger, so that inspired me to become one myself. When I was about 10 years old, he would take me to work with him almost every day in the summer. I was hiking and camping and learning how to be a good forest ranger from a young age. My dad took me on a search when I was 12, and I was fighting forest fires by 14. To get to be an official forest ranger, I had to get a college degree in natural resource management, get a good grade on a test, which then led me to take a physical fitness test, and once I passed that, I went to a 6-month academy to learn search, wildland fire, and law enforcement. Forest rangers started out being called fire wardens in 1885. After that, they stopped people from cutting timber and living on state land. Now, we do all that and more. We also do search and rescue, education, and give people tickets. We are very highly trained. I have a lot of different experiences as a forest ranger, and I have a lot of stories. Some are really funny. Some are lessons that hikers have learned, and some are sad. In December 2016, I rescued 2 people in a giant snowstorm on Algonquin Mountain. We searched for 2 days, and finally we found them. They shouted at the helicopter that was searching for them, but the people in the helicopter didn't hear. The people on the mountain kept shouting, and finally I was close enough and the helicopter was far enough away that I could just hear them. I and my partner warmed up the lost hikers, and the helicopter had a tiny window in the storm in which they could airlift the hikers to safety. Another difficult winter rescue took place in February 2018, where I worked with 33 other forest rangers and 12 volunteers to rescue an injured hiker on Saddleback Mountain. I had to hike over very difficult terrain in the middle of the night. The temperature was in the single digits with 50 miles per hour winds. One ranger got hurt, and I myself got frostbite, but we saved the man's life after 37 hours of work. In 2020, there were 285 rescues by rangers in northern New York, which is a new record. I counted the number of hikers at the Van Hoevenberg Trail from 2005 to 2015, and the number went up 62%. There are only 7 forest rangers in the high peaks. Statewide, rangers have to cover nearly 54,000 acres per person. By comparison, Yellowstone National Park is less than half the size of the Adirondacks, but has 60% more rangers. I have asked New York State for more forest rangers, and it will be helpful if you also let the governor know we need more rangers in the Adirondacks. Besides saving lives, I also educate hikers. Sometimes I get tired of telling hikers they shouldn't wear cotton. They need to be more prepared with better clothing that doesn't stay wet. I teach the Leave No Trace principles, which are 1. Plan ahead and prepare. 2. Travel and camp on durable surfaces. 3. Dispose of waste properly. And 4. Leave what you find. 5. Minimize campfire impacts. 6. Respect wildlife. And 7. Be considerate of other visitors. I recently did a clever investigation to figure out who spray painted trees and rocks on the trail of Cascade Mountain. I had to use forensics and ask people if they had seen anyone with spray paint, and 2 people had. One of the people took a selfie with the spray painter, and from the man's hat, we could tell what group he was in, and I posted the photo in that group on social media, and quickly identified the man. He also spray painted trails in the Catskills, and said he was only trying to help mark them. That's one reason why I think people need to be more educated about hiking, because they should know to come prepared with a map and compass, and speak to the Department of Environmental Conservation if they think the trails aren't marked well enough. In my free time, when I'm not rescuing or teaching people, I like to play baseball and go hiking and camping with my kids. We live on a farm where we have horses and goats. One goat is a fainting goat, and that's always funny. They have been kicked in the head by horses a few times, and the goats don't even notice. They just look up at the horse. That's kind of funny. Another one of my hobbies is searching for plane crashes in the mountains. I started doing it for work, but then I got more interested in the stories behind the crashes and started doing it for fun. I've found about 20 so far, and I think I'll find a lot more. It's very hard to find the plane crashes because they're all smashed and covered in plants. The families of the people who were in the plane crashes are happy I'm finding the crash sites because it makes them feel better to know the full story of the accident. This month, I will be retiring as a forest ranger. I will be coaching baseball for the Saranac Lake School, and I will continue to have adventures in the woods with my family. Even though I'm retiring, I will always love the Adirondack Park and want to protect it, and I hope you do too. Hello, I'm actually Oliver, and Scott loaned me this ranger's hat and this ranger's coat, and this coat is from the 1950s, and it's called an Eisenhower coat. It was worn by Scott's friend, Gib Manley. Gib Manley was a forest ranger from the 1940s to the 1980s, and he told Scott a lot of stories, and now Scott has a lot of stories of his own, too.